welcome back to my life coaching channel. My name is Andrea and I'm so glad you are here. Today we're going to be talking about strengths and the holidays. The holidays can be a joyous time and a hard time, and that's okay. Sometimes we're navigating family dynamics, we feel pressure to act a certain way, and even certain topics are off the table. But strengths can be a guide during this stressful holiday season. When we know our own strengths well enough, we can actually be aware of our own boundaries that we need and also understand what our triggers might be when it comes to the holidays. For this video, this is my own understanding of stress and how strengths can actually help alleviate and prevent that holiday stress from happening. During our time together, we'll be going through each domain and I'll be sharing some examples from each. However, if you would like to connect one-on-one to talk about your own specific strengths and how to use them to navigate stress, go ahead and fill out the form below to reach out and have a one-on-one coaching session together. I would love to support you in any way that I can. Before we dive in with some examples, first I want to make sure we're on the same page about boundaries and triggers. Boundaries are personal guidelines that you set up for yourself in order to ensure that you are in healthy relationships and in healthy spaces. Boundaries protect your inner peace and also let other people around you know how you want to be respected. Most importantly, boundaries help us make the most respectful decisions for our own selves. A few examples of boundaries could be how often you're on your phone, how often you spend time with others, or even agreeing to sunset relationships when they're not affirming or validating anymore. Triggers are external factors that impact you. This could be an image, a sound, or even a scent that leads to a harmful or even unfavorable reaction. Being honest about your triggers helps you build boundaries. And by practicing your boundaries, you'll be able to minimize triggers and even prevent them. A few unfavorable reactions could be anger to sadness, or even something a little more extreme like panic or feeling frozen. I bring up boundaries and triggers because the only thing we can actually control in our own lives is ourselves. We can't control the traffic, the weather outside, what's available or not at the store, or how other people respond to us. What helps us most during these stressful times is how much we rely and trust in our own selves. And that is where strengths comes in. For those of you who are new to strengths, go ahead and check out this video up here to learn more. But for those of you who are ready, let's get started. First, let's talk about the executing domain. Talents that are organized under this domain are all about taking action. These are folks who want to get things done and feel accomplished. There's a few ways this can show up during the holidays. Maybe you have a very long list of gifts to shop for. Maybe you're the host and you're getting the house ready. Or maybe you're feeling some pressure from family to fix all the problems that might come up around the dinner table. That is a lot of stress. So for those of you who have talents in the executing domain, give yourself some grace. That perfectionism, that feeling that you want to be the superhero and get everything done, while it's very idealistic, that's actually a lot of pressure on yourself. You don't want to be self-criticizing, especially during such a tense and stressful time. So for those of you who have focus, achiever, or responsibility, try your best to let it go and know that your best is always enough. And for my restorative folks out there, it's not your job to fix all the problems that you see. It's okay to let things go and let things unravel to just ensure that you keep your own inner peace as well. Again, for those of you who lead with executing strengths, this might be a season of overcommitment. So try to take a moment to step back and realize where are you saying yes and maybe what are some areas in your life you need to say no to. Again, going back to boundary setting to ensure that you can also enjoy the holiday season. Instead of thinking about all the things to do, think about being present with those around you and taking a moment to slow down, because burnout happens as well when you overactivate your strengths. So this is a good time to practice slowing down. Next, let's talk about the influencing domain. For those of you who lead with influencing talents, you're known for your energy, and that is so important to be aware of during this holiday season. What I appreciate most with those who lead with influencing strengths is that they have an inner voice that guides them. So during this holiday season, please take a moment to really stay attuned with that inner voice. When you're entering a space, a holiday party, or conversation, you gotta listen and trust your intuition. If you're kind of feeling something going off or the vibes don't feel well, take a moment to step away and take a moment to reflect. A few ways that this could show up is maybe by folks telling you, oh, you're the life of the party, you have to be there, or things aren't just as fun when you are not around. That might sound like you if you have maximizer, woo, or even competition. And so while that can be very flattering to hear and might be very affirming as well, take a moment to realize, is that how you want to spend your energy? Is that how you want to use your time? And it's okay to say no. You deserve your own energy and time. So as you get these invitations and all these group gatherings, for those who lead with influencing strengths, it's okay to take a moment and reflect on what you need during this time and how you want to intentionally use your energy. Next up, let's talk about relationship building. And so relationship building might be the most obvious around the holiday season because many people like to travel to see family, gather with friends, and it has a lot of fun energy to it. But not all relationships are healthy and not all relationships feel good. And during the holiday season, we might even feel obligated to engage with relationships that maybe we simply don't want to engage in. For those of us who lead with relationship building strengths, we might fall into the holiday trap of people pleasing. Maybe you have specific gifts for every person. Maybe everyone's inviting you over and wants to spend quality time with you, which again is all great. But it can be tough for relationship builders, especially when you just love and admire and care about so many people around you in your community or in your family. A way to combat people pleasing is to reflect on the relationships that really matter to you. Who are the people that lift you up and that really deeply care about you? For those of you who have relator, this is the area where you shine in. So making sure that for anyone out there who has relationship building strengths, be intentional with who you want to build relationships with. And it's okay to communicate your needs and your boundaries because, again, that's how you respect others and, most importantly, respect yourself. Something else to consider in regards to relationship building strengths is to actually lean into them to have hard conversations during the holiday season. I know that might be hard to hear, but think about it this way. You've already used your relationship building strengths all year long to create care and trustworthiness between the two of you. The holiday time is a great opportunity to connect with folks one-on-one where you're having a little bit of tension or stress with them. You can rely on your relationship building strengths to have meaningful conversations, to renegotiate your boundaries, and to ensure that there's respect between the two of you. Having these conversations in the holiday season will set you up for success in the new year. The holiday season can also bring up emotions of grief and loss. Instead of shunning those emotions away from you, I actually invite you to welcome them during your holiday season. The way to do that is by setting up intentional time and space for you to reflect on these emotions of grief and loss. Whether you've recently lost a family or loved one, or maybe you're just going through a different hard time in general, giving yourself time to be present with yourself is going to help you in the long run during this holiday season. Last but never least is our strategic thinking domain. For those of you who lead with strategic thinking talents, you all thrive with time in your head and enjoy when your thoughts and ideas come to life. During this holiday season, the first recommendation I have for you all is to take the time to practice self-reflection. The holiday season tends to fly by fast, so taking a moment to practice self-reflection and really dedicating time to really think through your needs and desires for this holiday season will be most important to you and can help alleviate stress. For those of you who lead with context, I know how easy it can be to think about how your previous holiday experiences, whether they're good or bad, could happen again this year, next year, and the year after that. Take a moment to pause and use context as a clue for yourself. Instead of making assumptions about how the holiday seasons will turn out, use your context as a clue to make a better decision for yourself. Instead of ruminating on what's going to happen again and again every year, take a moment and reflect on the best decision for yourself. If you're really expecting things to go well again, then that's great. But if you're expecting things to go wrong or things to come up that makes things difficult, then instead of spending your thoughtful energy on your own context and repeating things in your own head, make a new plan and a new decision for yourself so that you can enjoy this holiday season. Spending too much time thinking about the past, you're going to lose the perfect gift of being present. On the opposite side of the coin, we have futuristic. Instead of dreaming of the most perfect holiday or imagining that everything will go wrong, don't worry or stress. Take a moment and greet the moment when it happens. Stay in the present moment, have realistic expectations, and remember your own locus of control. And that, my friends, is just a few ways of how strengths can help alleviate your holiday stress. I know I didn't get a chance to talk about each and every talent, so for those of you who want to connect about your specific strengths, please feel free to reach out to me one-on-one so I can support you. If you have any ideas or suggestions on how strengths can help you navigate the holiday season, go ahead and leave those ideas in the comments below. Additionally, if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button to follow along for more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I wish you all a wonderful holiday season.